Well, Sluncha, how do you do, buckaroos? And how the heck are you? I wasn't sure if I was going to do one tonight, so kind of just threw this one together. I am tired. It's the end of a long week, man, or the beginning of one. It's both end of the week and the beginning. Anyways, but I am off the next couple, so I can relax a minute. Let me fix something real quick. There we go. Now we're back in business. Oh, there we go. See how that worked. There we go. We're back in business. All righty then. Bear with me a second here while I try to get this going here. Whiskey. I'm running whiskey. There we go. And one more. Let me try to fix this real fast again. Bear with me, y'all. Vanessa, hi, how are you? In just a second, you'll have my undivided attention. There we go. Now we're in business. Anyway, how the heck are you? I want to post your comment. Vanessa, hi, how you doing? Just got home from work a little bit ago, enough to kind of relax a few minutes and get this video set up. Decided to go real big, man. Go real big, kind of Christmas in July-ish kind of thing. Black is beautiful. I got this a while back from a friend. It's Imperial Mocha Biscotti Stout with coffee, hazelnuts, cocoa, cinnamon, vanilla beans, and lactose, partially aged in bourbon barrels at 10%. Yeah, there's a lot in that, man. That's a lot of action right there. There we go. And I got some port here, not the whole can, but a good portion of it. Oh, nice. New glasses. That's always nice. Also poured myself some of this. A very healthy 3-ounce pour of Hochatown Distilling Small Batch Select. This is at 104 proof. Baby, she rocks. Sluncha. Oh, mercy. It'll be a one and done video today with this big beer and this whiskey, but I come on and talk to you. I had been doing this segment called News at 10, and the last couple got a little contentious, and the last one actually got pulled. So take it down a notch. I'm not going to get into some things. I focus just on the beer and the whiskey and my existence. Anyway, celebrate the freedom I have while I still have it. Anyway, as we watch the world go to hell in a handbasket right in front of our eyes. I had a friend say the other day that he was talking to his kids. Well, I don't know how many times throughout history it's been the end of things. But the difference now, I guess, is that we actually have the ability to end things in more than one way, I guess. Of course, there's the nuclear threat that could kill us all, but now we've got this electronic threat, right? If somebody ever figures out how to shut us down and take us back to the Stone Age, it'd be like the TV show Revolution, and I don't know how far we are from any of it, to be honest with you. It kind of feels like things are looking dire. We seem to be we just seem to be very divided as a people. I don't want to say more than ever because I think that, but then Then I think back to where things were, the segregation. Things were very bad when you had to have separate drinking fountains. Yes, before people of color had the right to vote. Yeah, we were pretty bad then. But it seems like we're just about at that breaking point, I guess. So I'm not going to quit talking about things that matter, but I am going to give the rhetoric a rest, I guess. The thing is, sometimes what people think is rhetoric, for me, it's satire, right? I say something that's meant as funny, and some folks take it as divisive and rhetoric. That's not how I meant it. But sometimes it's hard to tell when you're just reading the words without that voice inflection. Yeah. Well, that was divisive, Tom. Well, it wasn't meant to be. I mean, I can't control how somebody interprets something, though, and I think that's again at what we've become in a society. Well, you're this way. Well, no, I'm not. I mean, I can't help that that's how you see it, but no, you're sad or you're angry. No, I'm not either of those things, and I'm not sure why you're interpreting my words that way. But again, I can't change how you see things. But then the other side of that is, people want to say things. You're sad, you're angry. Well, my side is, well, no, I'm not. I just can't control how you see things. But if that's how they're going to see it, again, that's how they're going to see it. Well, you are. No, I'm really not. To be honest with you, I'm not even sure what I said where you could have even interpreted it that way. But again, it all depends on how somebody wants to interpret or process something. And again, sometimes even hard uh, speaking, but sometimes I don't know. It seems like folks don't take cues like they used to. I think it's not that one generation is better than another per se. To be honest with you, it's just that I think it seems like certain generations don't get satire or sarcasm as well. So I try to say something a specific way, meaning it more as a joke or satire, when somebody else takes it as mean and or hurtful or angry. Why are you so angry? I'm not angry. I don't even know how you could process anything I say. So, but again, that's kind of what we've become as a society, a whole lot of misunderstandings. So again, I won't quit talking about things that matter and things that matter to me, but I'm going to try to do it in a way. I'm going to try because again, I can't control how you interpret what I say. I'm going to try to do it in a way where I'm talking about things that are meaningful to me, and I may say things sarcastic or say things meant as satire. But from my point of view, I'm not going to just lay out hateful rhetoric for the sake of hateful rhetoric. But I had some folks really, really like my controversial new Six Ed shows, and I had some social media friends unfriend me over them. And when I feel like sometimes we have become a society that can't take a joke. And it's funny is you got one side wants to label the others as being snowflakes and not being able to take a joke and are too easily offended, but it is that side that seems to be offended every time you disagree with them. I mean, I've recently lost several social media friends over my opinions of the former President Trump. And these are the same folks that say, well, your side gets too easily offended. But if you say one thing they disagree with, oh my gosh, I can't deal with it. So I don't know. I'm trying to find that balance. And I know I'm not there yet. But I'm going to try to figure it out. Because my instinct, once you say something to me or about me, or try to insult me without looking at any of the facts, I'm not going to jab at you. I'm going to go straight for the jugular. I don't have that ability to pity pat. I'm going to go right for the kill. And I recently lost a social media friend for that reason. And it wasn't him particularly, it was a friend of his. I didn't mention him in a comment. I just said that it was a generality. He decided to poke at me. So I went for the jugular on it. I'm not going to pity pat with you. I'm just going to say exactly what I mean at that moment in time. And then my friend unfriended me over that. Again, goes to I cannot control how you interpret something I say. I can tell you what I meant by it if you want to ask me, but how you interpret something is really is you. How I mean it, it might be hard for you to decipher. I don't know. It does seem like uh, certain generations do have a difficult time with sarcasm and satire. And there's at times I've said things that I feel is an obvious joke, and someone say, "Really? No, not really. How did you not? How were you not able to detect that that was a joke?" Now, I made some jokes about the Trump situation. I'm not a fan, and I'm on the record as saying so. I'm not going to walk that back at all because I don't think I should. But I will admit there are times I may have phrased things a little bit better. But again, I'm going for that joke. I'm going for that laugh. And if you take it wrong, well, that's really on you. But I'm going to try to be a little more careful. Again, less rhetoric. But again, you've got it seems like we've got a certain segment of society that just does not have that ability to take anything you say about the former disgraced president with a grain of salt. If you say anything, it's a direct attack, not just on him, but it's a direct attack on them. And I think that's what's going on these days. That's certainly how it feels anyway. You say something about him, and they take it personal because they've invested all their time and energy into this person, which still seems awful bizarre to me. But that's that's kind of where we become as a society, or what we've become as a society, or where we've gone as a society, and where we're going is to hell in a handbasket if we don't find some middle ground fast. But here's the problem. I don't know that there is. I don't know that there is. I don't know that there is any middle ground. I don't know that um, either side can say this is the compromise because compromise has become a dirty word. The current Republicans have refused to compromise on anything. They've even said so. So it's again, that's not rhetoric. I'm just repeating. And the word compromise has become a dirty word. They want exactly what they want, and they're not going to change that. Whereas when folks ask what my politics are, it's simple. I mean, my politics are empathy, my politics are compassion. So if your politics want to hurt a certain group of people or disparage a certain group of people, screen got a little wonky there. Give me a second here. It's drifting a certain direction, so I can get that fixed. There we go. If you want to eliminate a certain group of people, if no, that I don't find that right. I don't know how some people can see that as family values, but that's how they're framing it because it's not the way they see a family. But here's the thing, we don't all have to see it the same way. And we shouldn't have to. But again, this is what we're starting to become a society that if you're not with me, you're against me. You've got folks out there that just want to pick and choose and cherry pick the Bible and use this and say, well, God says this. That's why I don't like these people. Well, no, God didn't say that. First of all, the book was written by man. There is no evidence at all that God had anything to do with the Bible. And the other part of that is that's how you're choosing to interpret it. That's not what it says. That's how you're choosing to interpret it to to validate the fact that you're a bigot. So yes, if your politics choose to hurt somebody, yes, I am against you. I'm going to make that real simple. If you choose to hurt a certain group of people, if you only think a family is this and this, and it can't be everything encompassing, yes, then you and I are going to have a problem. Because I can't figure out why other people doing a family their way isn't affecting you at all. So I don't know why it bothers you, other than you keep wanting to hold this book up because, well, it says this. Well, no, it doesn't say that. That's how you're choosing to interpret that to make you feel better about yourself. So anyway, things are going to be what they're going to be. I mean, I've said before in other videos, I've quit watching any kind of news because it just doesn't matter. It's just going to rile me up. And I think that is the problem. You got folks that only watch one specific news program or news station, or maybe not one specific station, but news that only tells them what they want to hear. That's all commentary or editorial, but they're taking it as gospel fact when it isn't. And again, that's why we have a problem, because people hear things. Well, this is this. No, that was an opinion. That wasn't the fact. And you've got people that can't understand the difference between opinion, editorial, and fact. A fact is something that can be proven. But then you've got a certain segment of society out there that is fact resistant, meaning you can show them the fact, you can show them exactly what the truth is, and they're going to do, well, that's not what this says. Well, that was opinion, that wasn't fact. This is the actual fact. This is the truth. I can't control what you believe or what you don't believe. Anyway, and I think for me anyway, I'm coming to the realization that I can't. I can't. How somebody interprets something I say, do, or feel, I can't control one way or the other. So if you're offended by something I say, well, you can come to me and we can try to reach a clarification, or you can just do what so many others on the other side have done, just unfriend me. I mean, I honestly don't care. At this point, I don't. I mean, if you're too cowardly to come to me and say, hey, Tom, what did you mean by this? Or can we have an honest conversation like people used to be able to do 20, 30 years ago? But nobody wants to have that honest conversation anymore because nobody has the ability to compromise. They're either going to get to, well, I want you to see things my way, and that's the only thing we're talking about. Conversations have become about right or wrong. I'm right, you're wrong, instead of finding the truth. And conversations used to be about let's get to the truth. And conversations today are about, well, I'm right, you're wrong. So yes, I'm hoping a certain side doesn't win, because we're gonna head back to the dark ages, man. You got folks that want to disregard science. They want to rule from an archaic book written by scared old men trying to control the masses at the time. They want to use that same book to control the masses now. It's not even that they want to turn it into a theocracy, 'cause that's bad enough, but they want to turn it into their version of the theocracy, right? It's not that they want everybody to believe this particular religion. They want everybody to believe it exactly the way they believe it. I mean, I can label myself a certain religious faction, but they don't see me that way because I don't believe exactly what they believe. Nothing but bad luck. Pour the rest of this beer in here. So anyway, I digress. I wish we could get back to a time where folks could have an honest conversation and be willing to change their mind when shown actual facts. But we are clearly past that in our society, where even if you show people the facts, because we all carry a computer in our pockets, we all got these phones. Well, okay, well let's look that up to see if it's true. Well, I don't like that source. Well, I mean, that's just the truth. The source has nothing to do with it, right? Anyway, no, this is opinion. There's an opinion there. Well, this is a fact. There's a difference between opinion and fact. But folks are listening to editorial pieces as if it's factual, and it's not. This whiskey's insanely good. I love this Ho Chi Town. It is just brilliant. I had the cast strength earlier in the year, and a friend brought me this one. It is absolutely insanely good. Every time I get in that neck of the woods, or if my friend gets in that neck of the woods, I'm going to have him pick me up a bottle because this stuff is amazing. When I go on vacation later in the year, I'm going to get up the Columbus, Ohio area, and there's a few distilleries out there. And so I'm looking to buy some stuff that I know I can't get here. My budget is limited, so I'm going to hope to buy as much as I can to bring back. Because I like to support the smaller distilleries. There are folks that want to say you have to support these big guys. You don't. You have to have XXX in your collection per se. I don't have a collection. I don't understand that collection mentality, to be honest with you. I guess growing up the way I did, Dad always kept a bar, but nothing was collected, right? Everything bought was meant to drink. I don't understand the idea of buying things with the intention of not drinking them. I don't get it. I can't make that make sense. And I hate secondary markets. Secondary markets are everything that's wrong with our society today. Secondary markets. Oh, they're terrible. They prey on people. They tell you should have certain things and then up the price of it. You don't need those things. Buy what you like, buy what tastes good, and support the small guys. And the stuff in most cases are better than those big guys. It's just the way it is. So I didn't give you much tasting notes on this beer because I was talking, because there's a lot going on here. Imperial Mocha Biscotti Stout. I don't even know how to. Mocha Biscotti with coffee, hazelnuts, cocoa. Da 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 da. I mean, there's a lot. There's a whole lot of overkill going on here. Cinnamon, vanilla bean. This is one of those things. These are ingredients that if I was behind this guy in a coffee shop ordering that, yeah, you might hear about me on the 5 o'clock news because I'm going to kill the bastard because I'm just trying to get a black cup of coffee. Anyways, the nose is incredible. I got to tell you, everything about this beer is spectacular. You do feel the coffee right away on the nose. The hazelnuts, the cocoa, cacao. The hazelnuts are a little more subtle. Everything seems to be secondary to the coffee note, on the nose anyway. The body, even at 10%, does feel a tad thinner than I expected it to be. It's not thin by any means, but personally, I would like just a tad more viscosity because I like it a little chewy. But I know a lot of folks don't. It's not necessarily a criticism. I'm just telling you that's what I like. What's interesting though is I'm not a fan of biscotti either. My wife is, but you can kind of taste that where they're going with that. I get the biscotti flavor. The cinnamon again, you do taste that hazelnut, but it is more subtle. It's a very secondary uh, feature, or I'm not sure the right word to use here, but yeah, you'll get it, but it's very much a supporting character. in this big scope of what this beer is. And I do like the idea. I like a lot of these incarnations of Black is Beautiful, brewed to support justice and equality for people of color. Now, obviously, that's, that doesn't encompass me. I am a color, but it's very pasty white. I'm very pink, man. But yeah, so I want to support this cause and support everybody trying to make a small business work, especially in the brewing industry. But whether whoever owns the business, I mean, I always try to support the smaller businesses, especially when I travel. The restaurants my wife and I hit, we may hit a chain when it's almost necessary at that moment in time. But if we do, we hit one that we haven't, that we don't have in our neck of the woods. But we almost always try to hit, at least if it's a chain, it's a local chain, right? We try to hit as small as humanly possible when we eat, when we drink, and when we shop, again, when it's possible. Like some of the big guys, when we don't have a Trader Joe's here in town, so when we go out of town, when they have a Trader Joe's, I'm probably going to visit. I do like certain places like World Markets, but if there's smaller, local versions of these businesses, I will go to them first. Uh, This whiskey, I didn't get into a lot of tasting notes on this whiskey tonight either, but it's just insanely good. Little bit of brown sugar, dark brown sugar, because you're going to feel some molasses. I feel like I'm picking up some maple in there as well. Fruit, dark fruit in particular, you might get from a whiskey like this. Again, I tell people what you get is what you get. Because if you don't eat certain things, you're not going to taste it that way. It is possible that you could pick out some date fig. It's possible that you would get some dark cherry or raisin, or even very dark overripe plum. There's a lot of opportunities. Just again, it's really up between you and your palate, what you know. A lot of oak and spice in the finish. For me, some allspice comes into play, some ginger, maybe just a hint of clove and nutmeg as well. So, anyways, 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 I press. But I am looking forward to this vacation because we've last year we took several, 4 or 5 small vacations, right? Just 2 days here, 2 days there, 2 days there, It was like that's all we've been able to do the last few years, 2, maybe 3 days. We've never taken a vacation quite as long as we're taking now. And then as I've talked to other folks, it's not really a long vacation, right? It's like the folks say, well, we took a month here. I'm just talking about a week, man. I'm just going to be gone a little over a week. I'm just talking about 8 days, man. That's a long vacation for me. But I am looking forward to just doing something a little different, exploring some different things, seeing a part of the country we haven't seen before, visiting some stores. I like to find local butcher shops and delis. Get some stuff we can take home, that kind of thing. But I like to buy the way I like to drink. I like to buy as small as possible. Again, sometimes it's not possible. You got to do what you got to do. But yeah, I like to find the local stuff. Even if it is a chain, I want to find that local chain. I want to avoid that big dog as much as possible. So, anyways, I finish up my whiskey. I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, whiskey evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and Boy, when I poured that, but man, that might be a lot of whiskey to drink, but I had no problem getting that down. It's been a long week, man. I've been on a long stretch. My whole body hurts, man. It's been a stretch, baby. And I'm tired. Boy, that went down easy, though, man. Wow. And this beer's kind of surprising me, too. I said, wow, that's remarkably easy to drink. I said I wasn't going to do another video because both of these things are big, but I may. We'll see how I feel in a few minutes. It may catch up to me right away, but anyways. So again, I'm kind of revamping the news at Sam. I will talk about things that matter to me, and I will tell people honestly how I feel. But I'm going to try to do it without the rhetoric and more just honest from the heart. This is how I feel about what's going on, and this is what we should be talking about. But it's one of those things when somebody comes to me, well, what about this? Or, you've been sounding kind of angry. I mean, no, I'm not angry. Well, what if somebody doesn't want to talk to you anymore? Well, I can't control how somebody interprets what I've said or what I've posted. I can't. Well, are we back? my screen shook. Anyways, I can't interpret how somebody feels about certain things. I can't control how you take what I say. If somebody ever wants to have an honest conversation with you, said, well, I didn't like this, but maybe I didn't understand it right. You want to have that conversation with me, I'm there to have that conversation. But the problem is, I don't think most folks want to have that conversation. They'd rather just unfriend you and be done because you don't align with what they believe. And I'm afraid that's where we've gone to as a society. So anyways, I digress. Let me wrap it up before that happens. Uh, I'm Tom the Beer Whisperer, beer evangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor of wisdom and. All around good guy, Sluntcha.